Hey guys, it's Reggie from Gunpla Network, and today I'm bringing to the channel my review of the Figurized Standard Digimon Amplified Beelzemon from Digimon Season 3, or if you're from Japan, Digimon Tamers. Before we begin, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Canadian Gundam for supplying this for me to review and open up to you guys. Go check them out. They have a wide variety of not only Gunpla kits, but also Digimon kits and other miscellaneous kits series from around the Gunpla universe. So go check them out. They have a wider range of both new releases and also very obscure and hard to find kits. They have a flat rate shipping fee of $10 all throughout North America. So go check them out and tell them that Gunpla Network sent you. So now, last time we did the unboxing, and today we're doing the review, and I gotta say, we have come a far way along from the Omnivon kit that they came out in 2015 and reused for the original starting point of the line. I finally think that Bandai has finally nailed down the humanoid aspects of Digimon. Now, don't get me wrong, the aesthetic was always there. It was going more towards a mechanical feel to some of their designs. But when it came to the more humanistic designs like Omnimon and now Beelzemon, I finally feel like they nailed it down. It's not as finicky, nothing feels loose, and I love the aesthetic. And I was so amazed with this kit because the color separation has come a far long way from Omnimon or even War Greymon. In this kit, the only necessary stickers here are the eyes, because to paint humanoid eyes are going to be next to impossible unless you have like Warhammer type skills, which a lot of people beginning in the hobby don't have. So you gotta have the Digimon the Digimon standard eyes and his third eye, and his belt buckle will have some stickers on it. Kind of disappointing a little bit because a lot of the skull designs are built into the kit, but I guess they were so small, it was negligible and they were able to put it down on a sticker. But only 5 necessary stickers? That's a far long way from even War Greymon, where the whole Crest of Courage on the Brave Shield had to be an entire sticker. So we have come a far way, and even a little detail, his zippers, all the detail is built in and color separated. The little scarf on his arm, even 10 years ago, that would have either been molded in unpainted or that would have been a sticker. They made his bandana on his left arm a separate piece, its own separate piece. That is phenomenal work, and I really feel like we take for granted the amount of detail that we have, even in this high grade level S kit. In terms of the aesthetics, everything is separated. I will admit I lost the wire to his head, so that's why his head looks a little bit off, if you notice that. The build was very straightforward, it was very smooth. In one sitting, you can knock this out in probably a little more than 2 hours. Everything, once you build one limb, you know how to build the other limb. So you kind of put everything together very fast, very smooth, especially without lack of stickers this time. And the only bad nubs I say on this kit are some of the nubs on the gold and silver plated pieces and the tail. So you might want to try to be a little bit more focused when building those parts. But again, if you got a Gundam marker, you could just kind of recolor it and wipe it off real quick to get rid of that nub. So it's just really impressive to see in just a few short years this Digimon line has gone in terms of aesthetic and design. In terms of posability, it is a little bit lacking, so if you're expecting something in terms of a Dragon Ball Z kit, you're going to be missing here. The head is double jointed, but because of the design of the collar of the jacket, you're not going to get not even a full 180. It's going to be more of like a 150, even though you have the double jointed neck. The chest is broken up into 2 pieces, so you're going to have a top half and a bottom half. The arms can go out parallel to each other, and they do have a little bit of a swivel. The arm, surprisingly, has the double elbow, but it's broken up into 2 sections, so you can get the forearm to swivel on its own on top of the bicep, so that gives you a little bit more of options in terms of posability on your chest, especially since Beelzemon is known for his gun poses. Legs, they do go out a little bit, but not too far. You can get to kick out, and you're gonna get a very beautiful double jointed knee. You're gonna get a nice knee bend here. Ankles are par for the course, double jointed ankles, and the feet can swivel. But I feel like I wish the toes were double jointed so I could get a little bit more of articulation on the feet, but it's serviceable. Unfortunately, the metal parts of his toes are not movable at all. They're stationary. I would say in terms of posability, fairly standard. I'd say a more modern high-grade Gunpla could probably pose a little bit better than Beelzemon, but for what you expect for a humanoid, it's serviceable. And it's definitely more chest-heavy in terms of posability. They focus more on the arms and the chest rather than the legs. But with the double knee built like how it is, you should be able to pose just fine. In terms of accessories, this is a pretty light kit, given it's normal Beelzemon and not Beelzemon Blastmere, so you're going to be lacking a little bit of kit. Comes with are his armored claws. So the cool things about his hands are you're going to get a jointed thumb, but the other hands are kind of similar to how you do a normal Master Grade Gunpla. They plug in. So you're going to get his claws, which are all one solid piece of 4 figures you plug into the front of the hand. And then if you want him to hold his guns, you're going to get kind of like holding hands that you get with a Master Grade. So I thought it was actually pretty more inventive that they came up with that solution instead of doing posable hands. Again, a little cheap, but again, high grade S kit. So it was more forward thinking than you expect. So his only accessories are his double guns. And this is definitely where they kind of crapped out in terms of detail, because they're all just one color, silver. In the box art, the holder or the grip part of the guns are either supposed to be in a brown or a dark black color. It's just one piece, so that is one part you may want to consider painting, but if you're fine with it just being one piece, one solid color, the detail are there, but it's just like that one little extra step that would have been necessary, or just appreciated, I should say. But you're going to be able to hold them with both hands, and they pose really well. You're going to get a lot of cool action pieces, and you're going to be able to pose well with the guns. You can do one-handed, two-handed, and they look really good aesthetically. You're also going to get 2 adapter pieces, because you're going to notice that he has these 2 holes near the side of his shins, and they plug into where you can hold the guns to the side of his legs like you would a cowboy, or you get the option of putting one on his leg, and then on his back he has an entry point where you plug in one of the guns, and then his pipe lining can actually lock it in for security, so he can always keep that thing on him. He also does come with an action-based adapter. Unfortunately, I did not have an action base available to me in the time that I was building and filming this, so you can get him on a standard Bandai action base. He does have an adapter. What you're going to do is take the tail out. You're going to plug the adapter in and plug the tail back in. So, and also a note with the tail is an accessory because it comes with a wire that allows it to actually build in. I think it's a little better because I built or tried to build the Imperial Digimon kit, and it had the tail as one solid piece, plastic, and it kind of was floppy and flimsy. Having that tail, which is very reminiscent of the Master Grade Epyon, really helps it to stay stable. I did lose the original one, so I had to modify them a little bit. I had a spare wire, had to make the holes a little bit bigger, but it still works out, and I think the bigger wire actually helps out to keep it a little bit more stable, in my opinion. In terms of scaling to other Digimon kits, I have my amplified Wargreymon, and he still fits in. Obviously, Wargreymon is bigger, bulkier, more muscular. Beelzemon is more slender, but he still fits in to scale, because if I remember from the anime, like, Beelzemon has to be pretty close to like 10 feet tall, at least, because the kids are like, maybe like, what, 4 or 5 feet at best? And he doubled the size of kids. So, I would say he's pretty on scale, on model with the rest of his, at least from the amplified, not the normal, but in terms of the amplified line, he's in scale. And he doesn't look out of place at all. In terms of fun, yeah, I wish he had more accessories. All we have are the claws and the gun, but it's Beelzemon. Maybe it would have been cool to have his bike, but then that would have probably doubled the price because his bike, Behemoth, could have been its own kit. So here we are at the end of the review, and what do I think of Beelzemon from the Digimon Figurized Amplified line? I love him. Again, I'm just so happy this line has popped up in terms of popularity, and the details have gotten better. They haven't just looked the other way and have been lazy. They've learned from their mistakes with Omnimon, and the detail here is almost perfect out of the box. The details were amazing. The build was smooth, fast, quick. The design was a lot of fun, and I eagerly await for the P. Bandai Beelzemon Blast Mode. They have to give him those Dark Angel wings in the Buster Gun. Please, I would want that. The only disappointing part is I don't have his dancing partner, Gallantmon, to really do some action so I could recreate that really phenomenal episode where Guillemon Felon gets his warp evolution to Gallantmon, or Dukemon if you watch Tamers, and Beelzemon and Gallantmon duke it out for a whole episode. It was probably one of the best episodes of early Digimon. I know there's a lot of nostalgia for Adventure, but Tamers was really, I felt, growing up and even now as an adult, the best Digimon series to really come out. Takes the Digimon aspect, give it a darker turn, give it more thorough storylines, and really make it a solid story that could stand on itself, not only as a property of Digimon, but just has its own series. In terms of this kit, a lot of fun, and I really think if they're a Digimon fan, they would really appreciate it. Me personally, I eagerly await Beelzemon Blast Mode. But outside of that, this is a solid kit. This is Reggie, and I will see you later.